increase my understanding. My daily bread, that amazing. I'm talking about precepts. Precept on precept, line upon line, precept on precept, line upon line, babe. I can't keep explaining, can't study for you. I can't think of nothing, wasn't nothing gonna.
We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1.
Hey, shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ, bless. Another episode of Precept Upon Precept, all right? We got Captain Ship's not here tonight. We know we got Captain Matt and Officer Micah out. So I am your host, Officer Thomas.
Officer Solomon.
Officer Zadiah.
All right, now before we get into the show, we got a lot to cover. But first, let's touch on this thumbnail real quick. Put that up real quick. Officer Solomon.
All right, I want to welcome y'all to Precept Upon Precept presents Syria, the land grab, and Russia's next move. All right, so we have over here the younger guy with the glasses. He is the prime minister for Iran, right? And then you have the Khamenei for man, I cannot remember.
He's the Ayatollah in Iran.
Yeah, he's the Ayatollah. Okay, so then we also have Netanyahu, all right, and Vladimir Putin over here on the far right, okay? And in the middle, you see our black Messiah, Jesus the Christ, and you see a chessboard in the middle of all of that. Because everything that's going on right now, we have to know that our Lord and Savior is the one conducting everything. You know what I'm saying? He's playing these pieces. All of them are pawns being played against each other.
All right, shalom, y'all. So we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but a lot of stuff has been going on in the so-called Middle East with Russia, Syria, Iran, all right? So we're going to touch on a lot of stuff tonight, mainly, though, with what's going on in Syria and what popped off with them killing that general from Russia. Let me get number 5. Because last week we touched on after Assad his government got kicked out, he fled to Russia. Israel came in and was supposedly defending the borders from rebels. But as we're going to find out that actually they trying to get even more inside of Syria, which they're not supposed to do. They're not supposed to be doing that. Read that real quick.
Netanyahu says Israeli troops will remain in buffer zone inside Syria.
Now hold on. That buffer zone is supposed to be war free. They're not supposed to be having no attacks going on. It's supposed to be a safe zone. Now remember, last week we showed a video of the Syrian people. They was happy, they was excited because the government had got overthrown.
Right.
They was having a good time.
Right.
But we gonna see as we go on what Israel's plan is, what they doing with these people. Same thing they did in Gaza is the same thing they doing in Syria right now. Play on, read on.
Jerusalem AP. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Tuesday that Israeli forces will stay in buffer zone on the Syrian border, and specifically on the summit of Mount Hermon, until another arrangement is found out that will ensure Israel's security.
So I want to bring up something that a lot of people probably don't know, or maybe they do know. Netanyahu was just on trial for war crimes.
That's right.
And now all of a sudden, now he in somebody else's land again, doing the exact same thing. Because guess what? He was supposed to get indicted for that. But guess what? Big brother America said, no, no, no. That's not going to happen. So what happened? So what we showing is that Netanyahu has a plan to continue to disband the Israelis, Ishmael and all of them. And it's going to take a lot more pride and pushing to get them to band together, because right now they still ain't banded together. They still are separate, all right? Read on.
Netanyahu made the comments from the mountain summit, the highest peak in the area, which is inside Syria, about 10 kilometers, 6 miles, from the border with the Israel-held Golan Heights. This was apparently the first time a sitting Israeli leader had entered Syrian territory. Now, Netanyahu said he had been on the summit of Mount Hermon 53 years ago as a soldier. But the summit's importance to Israel's security has only increased given recent events.
So now he's saying that the importance of Israel's security has increased given recent events. But they ain't have no problem with their security. This is just a pride to get inside of Syria so they could take over Damascus. This is a big game that he playing, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Benjamin Netanyahu got a way with words. He a good speaker. He's articulate, and he just telling these people whatever they want to hear, and then he going back behind closed doors and doing what he said he was gonna do. That's what he's doing.
Hey, officer. So what you're saying is this is a big land grab.
Yeah.
They're just wiping out as many people as they can, as fast as they can, to take up all those territories in the so-called Middle East.
That's exactly what they're doing. And we said that, I don't know if y'all watched the last week's show, but Cap played a video of what Netanyahu been trying to do for years. They have been planned to take over Syria years and years ago. Matter of fact, give me that scripture where it says their heart is deep. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get that scripture real quick, because the so-called white man, they plan 10, 20 years. They have think tanks. Black people don't plan. We don't plan. We plan for the next week. Psalm 64 and 6. Read that real quick, because we showing you that these people, they plan something, and when they plan something, they follow through with it. They put a plan in place for their children. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 6. They search out iniquities.
They search out sins. They search out how to topple governments. They blackmail people, coup d'etats, all these things they do. Read it again.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
And they accomplish a diligent search, meaning they going behind the scenes. They got the CIA and all these governments that they use, these secret agents that they use to infiltrate these governments, get information and bring it back to America. Read it again.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
Read on.
Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
God said the inward thought and the mind of them is deep. These people have been at war for in Syria for 10, 11 years. And now it's finally, the fruits of their labor has finally paid off. Right. The Syrian government is over with. They have ran them out. Now they're about to take over. Go back to the article.
Hey, real quick, also, if you don't mind, let's read verse 3, because you were saying about Netanyahu and how he's, really good with words, and basically he's saying these things to get his way with what's going on, right? So let's read verse 3, if you will, please.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 3.
Come on.
Who wet their tongue.
Who wet their tongues. That's W-H-E-T. Come on.
Like a sword.
They wet their tongues like a sword, right? So what they're doing is they're using their words to. That's what they did to get their way into Syria. To get the overthrown situation of Assad overthrown. over there. They sit in those little terrorist groups, right? Read it again.
Who whet their tongue like a sword.
Come on.
And bend their bows to shoot their arrows.
To do what?
To shoot their arrows.
To shoot their arrows. Haven't they not been shooting their arrows over in Iran and have they in Syria? You know, this is what they're doing. The Bible is a true book. I just want to let y'all know that.
All right, all praise. So now go back to that article real quick. Finish reading where we was at. Israel seized.
Yes, sir. Israel seized a swath of southern Syria along the border with Israeli annexed Golan Heights. In the days after Syrian President Bashar Assad was ousted by rebels.
Now hold on. I thought this was supposed to be just what they said. It was just supposed to be a buffer zone. Right here it said they seized a swath of southern Syria. Keep reading.
Israel's capture of the buffer zone was sparked condemnation, with critics accusing Israel of violating a 1974 ceasefire and possibly exploiting the chaos in Syria for a land grab.
And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they are doing. They broke the treaty, and now they're going to try to get deeper into Syria. That's the whole plan, is to get deeper into Syria and take over Damascus. Let's get number 7. Because what they're doing is illegal. And guess what? Other governments are paying attention to what Israel is doing, what America is doing, because it ain't just Israel. You know, they got, wherever Israel is, you could believe America is not too far behind. They work hand in hand. Big brother and little brother. Go ahead, play it.
Village of Ashraf, families take shelter after being expelled from their homes by the Israeli army.
Hold on, stop. It said these people now being dispelled from their homes from Israel's armies. Now, they're supposed to be a buffer zone. This is supposed to be, supposedly, they supposed to just be in there just to make sure that the rebels is not in there to take over the government. But now they going and taking people out of their house. This don't sound familiar, or what they was doing in Gaza and in Lebanon.
Right.
They doing the exact same thing. They not switching up on their blueprint. Netanyahu is showing you who he is. He ain't never changed nothing.
Hey, Officer Thomas. And also, too, so if we're seeing this happen to the Syrians right now, right, they're still reporting that Israel is not allowing the NATO forces to be able to bring in aid to help those people over there in Gaza, even though they're still bombing them. They're not allowed. They are not obeying any of the Geneva Convention regulations that were set forth by all these nations that they're supposed to follow as far as when it comes to war.
Hey, I'm going to land back off of that. These are supposed to be the chosen people of God.
Right.
These are supposed to be the Jews.
Right.
And last time I checked, thou shalt not covet was the 10th commandment.
Right.
So they're going against exactly what they supposedly, or God's laws that they were given to them. Let's get Micah chapter 2 and verse 2.
All right.
Yeah, can I get Micah chapter 2 and verse 2? Obviously, these are not the people. Because they're oppressing, not only have they oppressed our people, they're oppressing anybody who's in vicinity of them.
Say these not the guys, huh?
These are not the guys.
All right. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 2. And they covered fields.
And he said they covered fields, meaning anything around them that doesn't belong to them, they want it, and they'll use violence to get it. Read on.
And take them by violence.
How they take them?
And take them by violence.
They'll drop a bomb on you. They'll kill your leaders. They'll keep food out of your area so you can starve. These people take it by violence. Read.
And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house. That's
what you just saw. That's the video that Officer Thomas is actually going into. These people fit exactly what the scripture is talking about. All right, I yield.
Yeah, play on.
By the Israeli army.
It was dawn when they rolled in with their tanks and bulldozers into our village. They fired on people and homes and terrorized women and children. They gathered people in school and detaining them for several hours. Then an army general came and told them they have half an hour to leave the village without carrying anything with them. We are homeless now.
Quneitra on the slopes of Mount Hermon or Jabal al-Sheikh is in the buffer zone beyond the occupied areas of the Golan Heights. But since the fall of Bashar al-Assad, the Israeli army has pushed forward into this area inside Syria. From where I stand, the nearest Israeli military posts are only a few hundred meters in this direction. This is where the first Israeli tanks crossed into Syria on November 8. Up to now, they have occupied 7 villages in the wider Quneitra area, including the one you see right there behind me, the village of Hamidiyah.
So,
The Israeli
pause it real quick. So, as of last week, they done already got 7 villages. Already they done took 7 villages and they've displaced these people from their house, showing you what Netanyahu and Israel's plan is. And guess what? It's not just Israel, it's America too. We're going to touch on how many American troops are actually in Syria right now doing helping Israel with their plan. Play on.
Occupies the headquarters of the Quneitra governorate in Hamidiyah. Its tanks scour the Quneitra countryside and it imposes a nightly curfew.
To be honest, we couldn't enjoy the fall of the dictator Bashar because immediately on the following morning, Israeli tanks rolled in our streets.
Abu Jihad says his great...
Now, we said last week how they was enjoying the fall of Assad, right? It said literally the next morning, Israel came in with their tanks. Showing you, look, what we read in the article, they are capitalizing off of the fall of the Syrian government. And these people thought that Israel wasn't going to make a move. Assad fell, and then Israel steps right in, taking his place. So if Iran or somebody else don't come in, because we already know Russia's left out, Iran is left out. Now Syria's government is toppled. Assad is in Russia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now, what they thought they was going to enjoy, they about to get worse now.
Right.
Because Israel is definitely not going to show them no mercy.
Hey, Officer Thomas. Also, too, I would like to get a strip because basically what Israel is doing, it basically goes against one of the laws in the Bible. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 19 and verse 14. You know, because they have, this is something that actually Cap actually said that this was going to happen. He prophesied this weeks ago about them moving on to all of these different countries. They're bombing them for a specific reason, to take over these areas, right? To further their borders, right? Let's read that scripture, please.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 14.
Come on.
Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark.
Hold up, wait a minute. They're not supposed to do what?
Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark.
So, if you have your own landmark, why are you in somebody else's territory? This is the things that Officer Thomas is bringing out and helping us to understand and to see that these people that are calling themselves the Jews, they are not the Jews.
That's right. Go ahead, play that.
Here is to see a repetition of 1967, when his people were forced from most of the Golan Heights.
An Israeli soldier asked me in Arabic if I'm the village chief. I said yes. He asked if he could come over. I said, for what purpose have you come here? This is our land. To which he replied, no, this is the land of Israel. I said, no, you're coming in as an occupier, but we are not going to move from here.
So y'all heard of this. Y'all heard what he said. They came in, they said, look, this is our land now. He said, this is our land now. You know what I mean? Give me Obadiah chapter 1.
Yes, sir.
And start at verse 2. Showing you that Israel, that the so-called white man, whether they be Israeli, Russian, whatever, they all the same. You know what I'm saying? It shows you that these people have a certain pride in their heart. Wherever they want to go, whatever they want to take over, it's in the power of their hand to do so. Read.
The book of Obadiah, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
Meaning, small among the heathen, meaning these other countries, they don't like America. They don't like Israel. Read.
Thou art greatly despised.
And all these other nations, they despise America because of all of the sanctions and because of all of the things that they do against them. If you don't agree with America, then you're going to suffer for it. This is the way they have been since the beginning. In Israel, just like Israel does the same thing, and America is the force behind Israel. Read on.
The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
And that's what it is. The pride of their heart have deceived them. What makes you think you could go into another person's land and take over their land and tell them this is our land now? The same thing they doing in Ukraine. We know that that's a proxy war. We know that America is behind Ukraine with killing the Russian general.
Right.
You think Putin ain't stupid? You think he don't know that America is not behind that? He know that America is behind that. It's the pride in their heart because they think that they cannot be touched. But I'm going to tell you something. We're going to touch on it a little later. Putin ain't about to play that. They could play them crackhead games with everybody else, but Putin, he going to light a fire under them. We going to touch it. Read on.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high.
Read.
That saith in his heart.
That say in their mind, read.
Who shall bring me down to the ground?
Who going to destroy America? Who bad enough? Who's strong enough to destroy America? Remember, America think it's sweet like it was back in before when Trump got in the office. They think they just going to bully these other nations around. They think they're going to just put sanctions on people and then they're going to do whatever they want to do.
Right.
They say in their heart, who shall bring me down? Well, we going to show you. Because guess what? Russia and China, they not playing games. All right? Go back to the video.
Abu Jihad says he has managed to establish a line of communication with the Israeli army in order to coordinate safe movement for his people.
We are upset with the new leaders for failing to be with us. We are told they are in Aleppo, Hama, Homs, and so on. Well, can't they at least send someone to meet with us? There's simply nowhere to be seen. Look, the Israeli tanks are right here. They're destroying the trees. If there is coordination between them and our government, we are not aware of it.
Syria's new leadership says it is not looking for new conflicts. It has called on the international community to intervene to ensure Syria's sovereignty. But without any Syrian forces here, residents fear what lies ahead for their area and its population. Mohammed Fall, Al Jazeera, Quneitra, the Golan Heights.
All right, so now give me number 6. Give me number 6, because we said that we got Israel up in there, right? But we know also too that we also have it was reported that only 900 of United States troops is in Syria, but it's actually a lot more.
Hey,
all right.
Officer Thomas, real quick, I don't hate to interrupt you, but I would like to make a point on what we just saw, because you were saying about how when you went to Obadiah, you was talking about how prideful and everything they were, right? Where did they get that from? Where did they get it from? Let's go to Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. All right? Because now they're occupied, just like Officer Thomas mentioned about, Esau, America being prideful, their little brother, over in the so-called Middle East, they're very prideful too. They got to be in order to go and take another country's land and tell them that, no, this is my land now. Read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 38.
Come on.
And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father?
Uh-huh.
Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
So as Esau cried because he lost the inheritance of the firstborn, but it was prophesied by God that Jacob was going to receive that blessing and not Esau. Come on.
And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Hold on, wait a minute. That what?
Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
So anywhere that, the land is fat and they can benefit off of it, that's where they're going to dwell. Come on, read on.
And of the dew of heaven
they're
from above.
be all over the place. Read on.
and by thy sword shalt thou live.
How are they going to take it?
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
And they're going to take it by the sword because that was the blessing that was given to them from the Lord. So, hey, you know, that's what's happening. That's why you see these things happening over there. The Bible already covers this stuff. It's already talking about it. We just got to be mindful enough to be able to pay attention to it when we see it.
All right. Read this article real quick.
U.S. says it has 2,000 troops in Syria, not 900 as previously declared.
Keep on.
After years of telling the public that the United States has about 900 troops in Syria, the Pentagon has revealed there are approximately 2,000 soldiers there, double the previous estimate.
So we just see right here that America be lying. Just flat out that they lie. They say they only had 9,000 troops. Coming to find out they got 2,000 troops in Syria, backing the Israelis' plan. Because guess what? America gonna do whatever Israel say to do. When they got this affinity with Israel that they gotta help them out. Because guess what? Israel army not big like that. They don't have that force behind them like that. Whenever they gotta use missiles and other these things like that, they gotta come to America for that. Remember, just like in Ukraine, America was giving them all of their old missiles and all of their old inventory. Same thing that they do with Israel. Read on.
Speaking to reporters on Thursday, Pentagon spokesman Pat Ryder said the additional U.S. forces have been in Syria since before the ouster of former President Bashar al-Assad this month, though he did not specify a time frame.
So they've been in Syria. They probably been in Syria for years. They probably been in Syria since 2011. They probably been up in there with 2,000 troops because America like to spread their troops out all over the world. That's how they get spread so thin. All right. Now I want this article I just posted in tonight's content, showing you that not everybody is in agreement with what Israel is doing. Going into, it's one thing to say, okay, we're gonna secure the borders, we're gonna make sure no rebels don't come in, we're gonna try to uphold the treaty that we had. But it's another thing to go into this and start disbanding people and start taking people out of their homes and start taking over cities. All right, read this.
Several countries slam Israeli plans to expand settlements in Syria's Golan.
Read that little part right there.
U.S. military says it killed ISIL fighters as EU warns that Iran and Russia should have no place in Syria's future.
They don't want Iran and Russia inside and to do nothing with Syria because they was helping Syria. They was backing Syria up. But now that the government has been toppled, Israel don't want to lose no footing in the ground. They want full steam ahead. Go ahead.
Several countries have condemned Israel's plan to expand settlements in Syria's occupied Golan Heights after the ouster of former President Bashar al-Assad by opposition fighters. Multiple Middle Eastern nations and Israel's ally Germany on Monday denounced Israel's decision to double the Israeli settler population in the illegally occupied Syrian territory.
You see that right there? They trying to double the Israeli. They trying to take out the Syrians and put Israel into the population. And it says, scroll back up. No, yeah, it says in the illegal occupying of Syrian territory, because guess what? Who gonna stop them? Nobody. There's nobody to stop them. All right, scroll on. Go all the way down. Go all the way down. Right there. Now these are a few of the countries that is in disagreement with what Syria is doing. All right, go ahead.
Qatar rebuked the scheme as a new episode in a series of Israeli aggressions on Syrian territories. Jordan called it a blatant violation of international law.
Keep going.
Turkey denounced the move as a bid by Israel to expand its borders.
Now listen, we already know Turkey just playing the field because they trying to get in and was trying to get in them bricks with Russia and China and all of that.
Right.
And on the backside, they in Syria too.
Right.
They in Syria too, so they trying to play the field. He just probably mad because he can't do what Israel doing. That's what his problem is. Go ahead, please. Read.
Saudi Arabia slammed continued sabotage of Syria's chances of restoring its security and stability.
Now we got to look at Saudi Arabia and the next one. Go ahead.
Egypt condemned the plans as a flagrant violation of Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Now we know that America is we talked about it last week, that America is funding them money. Basically paying them for their friendship. But it's gonna come to a time when Egypt is in Saudi Arabia, they're gonna stand up for their people. There's only so much more that when they start, what's gonna happen is they're gonna have to get touched too. They're gonna Israel gonna take over Syria, they're gonna get into Damascus. And the closer they get to Egypt, then they might light a fire under their behind. All right? But sooner or later, these Arabs, they're going to come together against Israel and America too, because guess what? It's saying that what Israel is doing is a flagrant violation of Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. But America is right behind them. Notice they're not saying nothing about America. They only talking about Israel. But we just read in the last article that we're going to go back to that America got 2,000 soldiers in Syria.
Hey,
Go ahead.
No, I just want to land back off of what you were saying, officer, because you was touching on some heavy points. They have to be exposed as the lies they are. Because the scriptures talk about the son of perdition has to be revealed. All right. There's a scripture in Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 29. If I'm able to do it, officer. Deuteronomy 33:29. We have to be exposed as the liars that they are, because if we don't expose them, our people are going to keep falling for the same simple lies they've been given. Or we the victims, or we the Holocaust. All of those things that draw out those phony emotions that have us believe in everything they say. Can you read that for me?
Yes, sir. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 29.
Come on.
Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee.
This is God talking about the true Israelites, not the imposters that we see killing people today. Read on.
O people saved by the Lord.
Come on.
The shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency?
Christ is our sword. He's going to bring down these nations before us to put us back on top where we belong. Read on.
And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee.
Read that part again.
And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee.
They have to be exposed as the liars they are. So every step along the way, they're going to be exposed as liars. Finish that out.
And thou shalt tread upon their high places.
And we're going to take them down. Thus saith the Lord.
Amen.
All praises, all praises. So finish that article up, and after this, we're going to go to our radio. We're going to go to our shorts. Go ahead.
Germany said it is perfectly clear under international law that this area controlled by Israel belongs to Syria. Israel occupied the Golan Heights in 1967 and subsequently annexed it in 1981 in a move that is seen as illegitimate by most of the international community.
You see that? So most of the people don't agree with what Israel is doing. All right. So look, y'all stay tuned. We got a lot of more information to come. All right. Precept upon precept. Shalom.
Hey, shalom, Israel, Most High, and praise bless. My name is Captain Shem, IUIC New Orleans. Help us to grow. YouTube page, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell notification. And now it's even easier, y'all.
Hey, and also part of New Orleans Camp, we got the community cleanups, cleaning up our neighborhood one at a time.
What y'all waiting for? Subscribe.
What are you waiting for? Subscribe!
Have a good vibe. There's so much wrong going on in the world, but somehow we keep it all smile.
Subscribe and follow us on all social media accounts. We got TikTok, we got Twitter, we got Rumble, and YouTube. Make sure y'all follow IUIC New Orleans. Shalom.
All praise. Tell me if you feel me, clap your hands up.
Hey, also, we got flyer missions every day and also camp videos. Check us out, IUIC New Orleans.
So remember, go to our YouTube page, subscribe, like, share, and don't forget the QR code. When the QR code comes out, don't forget to take your phone out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why isn't it done? Shalom, Israel.
Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ, bless Bishop Nathaniel here. Hey, March 2025, we're going to have a Land Blitz fundraiser. So what I need you all to do is hit the QR code, whatever that thing is right there, fill it out on all our social media platforms, because we blitzing. We need this land. We got to get this fundraiser done, Israel. I'm trusting you. Get it done.
Cap, what's a Land Blitz fundraiser? Exactly what it is. We blitzing for the land. One day, with a large goal, we're gonna raise the funds for the land. That's my goal, that's my mission, and we're gonna make it happen. And I need your help to get it done. There's a link on the Bishop's Instagram and all of our social medias. Click on that link and fill it out. What you're going to do is, you're going to estimate what amount of donation you can make on this one day. On that day, you can also make random donations. But those of you that are watching this video now, we want to get an estimate of how hard we're going to have to go when we blitz. There will also be an in-house event. Y'all remember the Journey to Freedom? This is going to be bigger and better, live from Atlanta. You better get your tickets now, because probably after this announcement, it's going to be sold out. Only 400 tickets. But guess what? All the funds are going to the land. So get it now. Get it now.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High Christ bless, Deacon Joshua here. We're out here in Tijuana doing the Tijuana Blitz. Second time that we're doing this out here. We did a march this time. I mean, we did a march where we walked up to the campsites last time, but this time we did a little bit of a march. And it was interesting to see kind of the people's responses. A lot of people haven't seen that type of activism here because, yes, when we do those marches, that's a form of activism. But it starts to put a curiosity and an awareness in people. Why are we here? What are we doing? We were able to do some of the chanting in Spanish. So they can get the gist of what they see. And all of that creates an image in the people's mind. They see that order, they see that structure. Why are these men here moving that way? You're seeing some curiosity here. You see how packed it is as we're in these streets. And the word's going out, whether it's by flyer.
But y'all listen, still gonna do the work. I'm a bad mamma jamma with the flyers.
Whether they stop and they get edified. We have 6 camps going. We also have a remnant of Levi here. We got the Creole, the Levi brothers here with us to bring this out.
And finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word, his word, his word, his word, his word.
Hey, shalom, shalom, Israel. Most High Christ bless, Most High Christ bless. Precept upon precept. All right, let's get that thumbnail back up real quick. Let's touch on that thumbnail one more time. All right, go ahead, Officer Solomon.
All right, we got Syria, the land grab, and Russia's next move. All right, so we got that chessboard in the middle. That, I mean, this is perfect because Russia's next move. What pawn are they going to move next? You know what I'm saying? They move from the bishop to the king because we have Iran's prime minister and also Iran's Ayatollah. All right, Khomeini, Ali Khomeini, and then we have Netanyahu, the what they saying in Black Panther, colonizer, you know, who's colonizing other people's land. And we got the Black Messiah in the middle watching everything happen as he makes all of these things happen.
And all right, so look, it says Russia's next move. What is Russia's next move going to be? Because guess what? I don't know if y'all know, it's been all over the news that Ukraine is taking the credit for killing one of Russia's generals. Let me get number 2. Like we were saying earlier, I don't think they know who they playing with. They are definitely pushing Putin into a corner, and then he ain't gonna have no chance but to fight back. I mean, he already done struck scene with the hypersonic missiles that they can't attack, they can't defend these missiles.
Right.
But yet and still now they have killed one of his top generals, and we gonna find out what that general was over later on. All right, read that.
Igor Kurlov, the Russian top general, killed by Ukraine. Igor Kurlov ran Russia's nuclear and biological and chemical defense forces. He also earned a reputation for spreading misinformation.
Go ahead, play it out. Read.
Residents in an apartment building on Razansky Prospect in Moscow heard an explosion Tuesday morning and saw 2 bodies on the ground when they looked out their windows.
So that man got killed outside his house in his apartment. We're going to find out later on that they put a bomb in his trash can and blew that man up outside his house. Show you how gangster Esau is. They put a bomb in that man's trash can and blew him up. The top general from Russia.
Hey,
Go ahead.
He was it said that he was a biological missiles general, though. He was over that. So, I mean, there's, I guess, some reason on trying to take this brother out.
Yep. Go ahead.
The Russian investigative committee would later confirm the victims were Senior General Igor Kurlov and his assistant, E.L. Polikarov.
All right, so now let's go ahead and get number 8. We're gonna touch on this very quick. All right, because guess what? Them killing Russia's general, they gotta be held. They gotta be held accountable for that.
Oh yes, sir.
Putin already said that they gotta get revenge.
Yep.
They gotta get something. Something gotta happen. You can't just kill his top general and think he ain't gonna do nothing.
That's right.
Go ahead. Play it.
Welcome here, my dear friend. Before we start talking about Syria, there was an assassination in Moscow today of a high-ranking Russian general, General Igor Kirillov. What can you tell us about it?
Well, the Ukrainian government, in a strange move, has taken full credit for this, indicating that they directed their intelligence services to carry out this assassination. It's not an act of war, it's an act of terrorism against a high-profile Russian lieutenant general.
Hold on, stop. I got to say this real quick. Ukraine said they took credit for it, right? But 9 times out of 10, it probably was America that did.
Oh,
that.
yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right.
They just probably told Ukraine to take the credit for it.
Right.
But really, it was America that really probably did this.
Right.
And that's why Putin is so pissed off at America, because he know that they behind this.
Right.
They know that Israel don't have these capabilities to do certain things. They gotta have American contractors over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, play that.
Was the commander of their chemical, biological, radiation forces, but he had achieved notoriety of sorts because he is the face to the ongoing Russian allegations centered on American biological labs that had been operating on Ukrainian soil. The Russians, in the course of the special military operation, had occupied several of these and gained access to documents. And he was using these documents to make the case that the United States was engaged in what Russia assesses to be offensive biological warfare activities that were in violation of the biological toxin.
Go ahead. You want to touch on it? Go ahead.
Yeah, because, but did you hear what he was saying? He was saying that this guy had information on the United States and the illegal use of biological and chemical weaponry. You know, why not take this guy? So Ukraine, they said, you know what? we're going to take this guy out. For what? How does he affect Ukraine?
Right.
How does he affect Ukraine? What is the purpose for Ukraine to take credit for this? Man, boy, the U.S., well, they some gangsters for real. Hey, you just take credit for it. We're going to do it, but you take credit for it.
That's right.
What?
The original gangster.
Yeah, hey, the original gangster for real.
Yep. Hey, look, go to the next timestamp right there. It's showing you that. It also show you too that whenever America's about to be compromised, they kill that person.
Yep.
Because as soon as he found out that it was America behind it, they wiped him out. But it was too late now. He had already found out the information. And then they killed him, showing you, look, America don't care who you is. It don't matter who you is. They just killed Russia's top generals, Putin's top war general, outside his apartment.
Right.
Blew him up. He wasn't even in a war zone. That man had just got home. Probably just got out the bed, kissed his wife, his children a good day, and he walk outside and he get blown up.
On his way to work.
Dead. Him and his subordinate. Showing you how Esau, they gangsters, bro. They gangsters. They go on other people's territory and kill them.
Right.
In their backyard. And then say, now what you gonna do about it?
What you gonna do?
Remember what they did Soleimani? Remember, he was riding in the car.
Oh, yeah.
A bomb from the sky. Boom. Took him out.
Matter of fact, who was in office when that happened?
Was that?
It was Donald Trump.
That was Trump.
He made sure he took credit for that.
Oh, yeah.
Bruh. Man. Look at
Now,
God.
they touched on something now. What is the Biological Weapons Convention? Real quick, before we go to that timestamp, let's get number 9. All right. Let's touch on that because he said the Biological Weapons Convention. Let's see what this is about real quick. Scroll up. No, I need the other one. The other link. Do it say BWC? Disarmament biological weapon under number 9. The first one under number 9. If not, I can read it. That's it right there. All right. So this is the history of the Biological Weapons Convention. Scroll down. Oh, wait, let me see. Yeah, that's it.
All right. The BWC was opened for signature on 10th of April, 1972, and entered into force on 26 March, 1975.
What are those biological weapons?
All right. What are biological weapons? Biological weapons disseminate disease-causing organisms or toxins to harm or kill humans, animals, or plants.
So now it said it's a biological weapon disseminating disease-causing organisms or toxins to harm or kill humans, animals, or plants. We already know that America doing that.
Right, because I was just getting ready to say, wasn't that last pandemic that we had a biological attack upon everybody?
Zoonosis.
So when America found out that this general tapped into something he should have never found out in Ukraine. Now, why is it that we in Ukraine and we finding out stuff that America's doing over there, showing that they always? How long has they been in Ukraine doing this? That's the question that we need to ask.
Right.
And then as soon as you get found out, that man wind up missing. All right. Now go back to you. Somebody you want to touch on that?
No.
Go back to go back to the video. And
Very purpose to killing a general who's not engaged in battle and not commanding troops at the time of his death, but rather is exiting his home to go to work in the morning?
No, it's an act of terrorism, pure and simple. Let me put it this way, just so your audience understands. If the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff or one of his deputies was leaving their home this morning to go to work, and a bomb placed in his garbage can went off and killed him and his aide, would you expect the President of the United States to sit back and do nothing, especially if we found out, for instance, it was done by a adversarial nation?
Stop. You know why he always gotta go back and try to bring it into layman terms to Americans? Because the white man don't look at these people as they don't look at them the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He got to let them know that what would the president do if one of his top generals got blown up, had a bomb in his trash can, and he got blew up in front of his house? What would be the mind frame of the American president? He would instantly want to go to war with that country.
Right.
But it shows you that America don't give a damn. They say, I don't care. I'm gonna kill him, and however way we do it, that's the way it get done. Because they don't respect Putin. They still think that Putin not about what he talking about. But we gonna find out. We gonna find out. Play on.
Let's say it was done by Mexican cartels. Do you think right now, hours later, we wouldn't be bombing those cartels into oblivion? I don't think the Americans understand what happened here, because we projected into Russia, but try and project it back into us and something of this scale happening. You know darn well what we'd be doing, and that's the situation that Russia faces right now. This was an act of terrorism, an assassination of a senior military general, high-profile military general, done by an adversarial nation, not for military impact, but for political and terrorist impact.
Does Syria?
That's it. Go to the next timestamp. 6 minutes and 23 seconds. That was the second one. Oh, okay. So that was 7 minutes and 47 seconds. All right. So, like they were saying, if that would have happened in America, it would have been all bombs away. But because the lack of respect for Putin and his country, Russia, they did that to that man. Now, guess what? Putin has to retaliate. Give me number. Let me see where is that? Give me.
Hey, let me touch on what Officer Thomas just brought out.
Right.
He said, what would we do if something like that happened to the United States of America? Let's say the Joint Chief of Staffs or the Vice President or our CIA top generals was killed in that fashion. We go to war. Well, we actually have an example of that actually happening, what we did after. It was called 9/11.
Right.
And when those planes hit the Twin Towers and the Pentagon, America went to war for 20 years.
Right.
All right. We've been bombing Iraqi freedom, enduring freedom, Afghanistan. So we know what we would do. We're going to kill. America kills for decades when they want revenge.
Right.
So we've seen it happen.
Go ahead. Play this video real quick.
Issued a chilling warning as it ramped up military production while declaring that it was preparing for potential war with NATO and at the same time fighting Ukraine. The big statement came as President-elect Donald Trump called for urgent negotiations to bring the nearly 3-year conflict to an end.
Russia continues to gain the upper hand on the battlefield. Moscow's military machine is also moving at an unprecedented pace. Missile production has surged beyond pre-war levels, and Russia now manufactures several times more ammunition than all NATO countries combined.
Stop. Now, we said that Putin said he got to get revenge. He just said that Russia is putting out more weapons than NATO. One country is putting out more weapons than all of NATO. We know that NATO is more than one country. Russia is not playing no games. He's preparing war for NATO and Ukraine. Ain't no telling what this man about to do. He already got the missile that they can't stop. Now he's mass producing these missiles. he's gearing up. He's getting ready for war because this is what America and Israel want. They want to go to war with Russia. They're going to get what they're asking for. And what Biden is doing, I don't know if y'all noticed, but these last couple of days, because I think Trump goes into office January 20th, not too far from probably less than 30 days now. He got to come in and scramble to try to de-escalate and appease Putin, because right now Putin is pissed off, and I don't know how much appeasement Trump can do. You know what I'm saying? give me that real quick. Proverbs 23. Give me Proverbs 23. I want to read this real quick. Let me get it. Proverbs 23 and let me see.
Yeah, Putin is highly pissed off. He's pissed off to the highest of festivity. You know, just think about America has been trying to get to Ukraine, right, and get Ukraine to join NATO, right, so they can be in Russia's backyard. And now their top general, who knew about what was going on with them over there, with going on with America over in Ukraine and the biological weapons that they was making and everything. So, and now all of a sudden you kill their top general, and you and then we're gonna get into that part later. I don't want to spoil it.
Go ahead. Give me Proverbs 28 and verse 25.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 25. He that is of a proud heart stirred up strife.
This is Esau right here. They pride and heart. When you have a pride heart, you stir up strife. You go in other people's countries and antagonize them, kill their generals. In Syria, taking their people, rounding them up, destroying the people in Gaza, telling them, oh, we gonna bomb it. We want y'all to evacuate because we about to bomb this area. In the area that they evacuate to, you bomb that area. Read that scripture again.
He that is of a proud heart stirred up strife.
They stirring up strife, but at the end of the day, we know that in the background, it's the Most High God. He the puppet master. He hardening Esau's heart because it's only so much of this. It's only so much that Russia and these other nations is gonna take. They're not gonna take too much of the arrogance of America and Israel. Go back to the video.
President Vladimir Putin announces the serial production of Russia's hypersonic Oreshnik missiles, touted as unstoppable. Moscow claims these nuclear-capable missiles can fly at 10 times the speed of sound, making interception nearly impossible.
He said the missiles fly 10 times the speed of sound.
Wow.
10 times the speed of sound.
Damn. With it.
Nothing.
And he's mass producing these. These ain't even gotta have nuclear warheads on them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. They don't have to have.
They don't have to have nuclear warheads on them. And nobody else got this missile. Nobody has the defense to stop these missiles from Russia. And yet and still, more and more Israel, America, and Ukraine keep antagonizing Putin.
Right.
Officer. In fact, on those ICBMs, there's a switch that they could arm it to nuclear in mid-flight.
Yep.
Right.
They could change their mind. You know what? This is not nuclear. Button is nuclear.
Right.
So they can make a decision in mid-flight.
Yep. They gonna mess around and find out. Play.
The Russian armed forces are receiving advanced robotic systems, including those using artificial intelligence technologies. We need to fine-tune all issues of mass production and deployment of such strike domestic systems, including hypersonic systems.
As Russia flexes its military might, NATO grows increasingly alarmed. The head of Western Military Alliance, Mark Rutte, urges member nations to shift to a wartime mindset and accelerate defense production.
Because remember, last show we showed that Russia told its people to get out of America. He said, y'all need to make it home.
Right. Get out of Canada, North America, all of that.
Yeah, exactly. Because Putin ain't playing no games, bro. And we're going to listen because what NATO and the other European nations besides Russia like to do is they like to always try to make it seem like it's Russia's fault on what's going on. Like
Right.
Russia is the reason why we in this predicament. When
Right.
Russia from the beginning said, listen, don't put Ukraine in NATO, don't get so close to our borders, and we good.
Right.
They did everything that Putin asked them not to do. They antagonized this man. They didn't kill one of his top generals.
Right.
They didn't shot missiles into Moscow. Now all of a sudden, it's like, what's going on with this dude? He's crazy. What's going on? Why is he mass producing these missiles? Why? Because that's what y'all want him to do.
They're leaving them no choice.
They're leaving him no choice. It's only so much more this man gonna take, and you got to think about what when all this stuff going on. You got to think about what Putin going back to here.
Right.
What his people telling him?
Right.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? How much more is you gonna take? At the end of it's gonna get to a point where they're gonna say, "What, you weak?
Right.
You a P? You gonna keep on letting these people do this to us?" Russia, Putin got to do something.
He got
He
to
gotta get. He already said he can't let this slide.
Putin has already been known as a gangster anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and basically he's put it in law that he can't be voted out of office. You know what I'm saying? So the people are looking at him like, so what you gonna do now?
Right.
Huh?
Go ahead, play.
That NATO's current defense spending lags dangerously behind Russia's escalating capabilities.
We are not ready for what is coming our way in 4 to 5 years. Danger is moving towards us at full speed. We must not look the other way. We must face it. What is happening in Ukraine could happen here too. And regardless of the outcome of this war, we will not be safe in the future unless we are prepared to deal with danger.
Western officials also claim Russia is behind a rising wave of sabotage, hacking, and terror-like attacks across Europe and the US. These actions, they say, are part of a broader strategy to destabilize NATO allies and create chaos. Moscow has repeatedly denied the accusations. Amid the growing tensions, Donald Trump takes a starkly different approach. Calling for a rapid ceasefire, Trump insists Ukraine and Russia must return to the negotiating table.
So now this is what Trump gonna come in now. He gonna have to be the guy to come in and try to mediate something between Ukraine and Russia. He already said that he's not gonna put Ukraine in the NATO, and we already know what Russia wants. Russia want to make sure they don't get in NATO and stay off our borders. They're gonna have to come to some kind of compromise. But let me get now number 11.
Can I bring out something right quick?
Go ahead.
Get into that. What y'all got to understand is on precept upon precept, what we're doing is we're taking geopolitical politics and making it easy to be understood. Because this information is not put on your local news.
Right.
In America, the information that's coming out tonight, these are news articles placed received from other news sources outside of America. So the things that you're getting, man, take heed. We being the watchman right now. Officers bringing out some heavy stuff. All praises for our bishops, our captains, that allow us to have opportunity to make these things plain to you, because you won't get this information anywhere else.
Right.
This is right. Go ahead. Read that.
Russia says Uzbek man confesses to assassination of general.
Now hold on, stop. We gotta think about this. It said he confessed to assassinating the general. Who in their right mind gonna commit a crime and then gonna confess to it?
Right.
Especially to Putin.
Right.
You know what kind of jails they got in Russia?
Hey, officer, I dealt with quite a few Uzbekistanians in my time overseas, and they're actually not a dumb people. So, but they are a poor people. They are poor people. So, I guess if you grease their palms, you know what I'm saying, enough, they will admit to anything. Especially, because they are very prideful people. They want to be able to take care of their families. And him being a poor man, you offer him so much money. Hey, look, we'll take care of your family. This be taking care of that. They won't have to worry about it. Yeah, I did it. So, yeah, those Uzbeks, yeah, I'm telling you, I believe that he was convinced or coerced to do it.
Of course, that's what America do. America, they gotta have a fall guy.
Right.
They gotta have somebody to point the finger at. Look, you're gonna have to take the lick for this. We're gonna take care of your family. We're gonna do this. They're gonna say all of that. And when that man in jail, he don't know what's going on. He don't know if they're gonna take care of his family. He don't know if he got the money he said he was gonna get. America play games like that. America, the real gangsters.
Right.
They're gonna say they're gonna do something and then they don't do it. Because he ain't nobody to them. Read that.
Russian authorities have detained an Uzbek suspect in the killing of Lieutenant General Igor Kurlov in a bombing in Moscow. Russia says the suspect said Ukraine's intelligence offered him $100,000 to carry out the assassination.
They paid that man they only offered that man $100,000 to kill a top Russian general.
Hey, but also, you got to realize that $100,000 American dollars converted into Uzbekistan's money. I can't remember if they had the Som. I know Kyrgyzstan has the Som, but their dollars, their money is worth nothing. So $100,000 is almost like hitting the lottery to them.
And look, it ain't enough money to kill a Roman general.
Right.
And then you gotta run and hide for the rest of your life. What's the point though? The point is this though. Why would you take money for an assassination and then give yourself up? That makes absolutely no sense. You gonna kill the top Roman general, get offered $100,000, and then all of a sudden they found you. You confess. It ain't like they caught him. He said he confessed to the murder. They said it's as a terrorist attack. Okay. Let's say so. Go ahead, Officer Solomon. That's $100,000 in Uzbekistani money.
Right. So they have the Uzbek Som, huh? Right, 1.2 billion. So remember, I was telling you that conversion is crazy. They when I was over there and I was dealing with them, they swore up and down that every American was rich. So basically, they drove a lot of cabs, and so when you over there and they bring you, and you give them whatever the cab fare is. And then you expect you to change, and they you cheap, you American, you cheap American. And what are you talking about? Give me my money, because But they think that the streets are paved with gold over here.
Right.
They really do. And then when they see us, they think that we're some type of rapper or actor or ball player or something.
Yeah, that's just how it goes.
I stand corrected. That's a lot of money right there. $1.2 billion.
But in their money.
Yeah, in their money. But he ain't gonna be able to spend it because he turned himself in.
Right.
So what's the point of that?
He probably believed his family is going to spend it.
Right.
His family ain't gonna see that money, man.
Right. They all done.
Wait, that was it on that article? Okay. All right. Let's go to number 10. Matter of fact, go to number 4. Let's go to number 4. Touching on these missiles with Ukraine. With Russia. Let's see Zelensky, the man who has been spending millions and millions of dollars, taking American dollars and doing whatever the hell he want to do with it, because he ain't using it in Ukraine. He been ciphering money and just been spending it on whatever he want to spend it on.
He ain't taking care of the Ukrainian people.
No, he not. Read that.
Zelensky's on Putin's missile duel offer. Do you think he is insane? Do you think he's is sane?
It's always a smear campaign when it comes to Vladimir Putin. They always talking down on this man, but they don't never want to leave this man alone. Go ahead.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky addressed Russian President Vladimir Putin's missile duel offer during a press conference at a European Council meeting on Thursday.
Now, let me say something. You notice how this dude then started a war with Russia. He then basically stole all this money that he's been asking from America. He didn't got. Why has not America taken this man down? You see, he's a terrible president. Damn near all his military is gone.
Right.
Why hasn't not America said this guy's a terrible leader? Let's pull him down like they do every other country.
Right.
It's been showing you that they're in agreement with what he's doing.
Right.
He is the
puppet.
Yeah, he their puppet. America is pushing him out in the forefront to do all these things to Russia. This is a like they've been saying, it's a proxy war to get to Russia. America wants to get to Russia. Go ahead.
Do you think he is a sane person? Bastards. Zelensky said about Putin's suggestion to test air defenses by launching Russia's new Ostrink hypersonic ballistic missile at a target in Ukraine.
Now, why did Putin launch those missiles at Ukraine? Was it because that Americans, what's the name of that missile again?
The Ostrink.
The Ostrink. And then they had the European, what is it? The sleeper? What's the name of that missile that the other ones had? That
Sade 1, Sade 2?
No. It was another missile called the sleeper, something like that, sheep or whatever. But it was I believe it was a German missile, if I'm not mistaken. It was two of them that they hit in Russia with the attackums.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember the name of the missiles.
But that's the reason why Putin sent those missiles into Ukraine.
Right.
It was a retaliation from what Ukraine did. But notice how they trying to make it seem like he just bombing them for no reason.
Right.
Actually, the people in Ukraine, the parts that Russia took over, they want to be under Russian government. They don't want to be under Ukrainian government.
Right.
I could bring out something on the brother receiving the money, the 100,000, and also Zelensky spending the millions of dollars. Yeah. Can I get Proverbs 11:4? Because they believe their money is going to save them. They believe that their money elevates them and separates them from their own people. But their money will not save them. Go ahead and read that.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath.
When Putin start firing them missiles, they millions of dollars won't mean a thing.
Right.
Read on.
But righteousness delivered from death.
Read on.
The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way.
When you live by the commandments of God, that's your only protection. And that goes for you too here in America. You brothers and sisters here in America, keep the commandments. It's the only thing that's going to save you. Read on.
But the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness.
And that's what Zelensky's going to happen to him. He's going to fall by his own wickedness. The little crafty little deals he cutting with America is all going to blow up in his face. It's called the SARMAC, a ICBM intercontinental ballistic missile.
Right.
Go ahead, play the video. Bear with the IT team real quick.
Russian authorities say they have detained a suspect over the killing of a senior general in Moscow on Tuesday.
No, hold on.
The 29-year-old.
Go back to the article. I'm sorry. The article that we were just reading. Oh, that was it on the article? Oh, okay.
Russian authorities say they have detained a suspect over the killing of a senior general in Moscow on Tuesday. The 29-year-old from Uzbekistan has reportedly confessed to collaborating with Ukrainian intelligence services in the attack on Igor Kirillov. He was the commander of Russia's nuclear, chemical and biological defense division and was investigating activities by the U.S. in Ukraine. The bomb was hidden in an electric scooter. Well, Al Jazeera's correspondents are covering this story from Russia and Ukraine. We'll be speaking to Alex Katapoulos in Kyiv in just a moment. But first, let's go live to Yulia Shapovalova in Moscow. Tell us about the latest in the investigation and this arrest that's been made, Yulia.
The official information we have comes courtesy of the Russian Investigative Committee and the FSB. They have revealed details about the arrest of the perpetrator of the murder of a head of the Nuclear, Chemical and Biological Protection Troops, Igor Kirillov, and his assistant. So, as you mentioned, the detained man is a 29-year-old citizen of Uzbekistan. He was detained in the Moscow region. The FSB has even published footage of the interrogation of the man. According to the suspect, he was recruited by the Ukrainian Special Services for committing the crime. He was promised $100,000 and traveled to one of the European countries to live there. Here in Moscow,
Stop. Now, hold on. This is how you know Esau the devil, bro. It said he was recruited by Ukrainian intelligence, right? Offered the man $100,000. How that man got caught? If he put a bomb on a scooter, there's no evidence of him. There's no fingerprint, there's no DNA, there's no nothing. He got there, but the bomb blew it up.
Right.
All of a sudden now this man then got caught.
Right.
Because they offered him $100,000, which is $1.2 billion in their money, which is a lot of money.
Right.
Told the man to do it. I think what happened was they told that man to do that, then they caught him and turned him in. That's what I think happened. So they ain't have to pay him the money. Because ain't no way in hell that you put a bomb in a scooter and then you get caught. You get caught for it. To me, that don't make no sense.
That's a street move right there. They do that in the hood. They'll tell a young man go sell his dope.
Right.
He get caught by the police or commit a crime, and then when the money they come out with the money to say, hey, turn this person in or call the 1-800 hotline, and then they'll be like, yeah, so and so did it.
Right.
Now he arrested, and that's it.
Yeah, and then it said he confessed it, but she also said that he was interrogated. Now you already know them Russians don't play.
No, sir. They
got all kind of games they play with that as far as that interrogation go.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Play on.
He allegedly received, of course, a homemade explosive device and then rented a car where he installed a video surveillance camera with a broadcast to the Ukrainian city of Dnieper. So after receiving a signal about Kirillov and his assistant leaving the entrance of the building, the suspect detonated an explosive device. And as a result, as you all know, the high-ranking general and his 33-year-old assistant were killed. The only survivor of the explosion was the general's driver sitting waiting in a car nearby. So according to Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova, the Russian permanent mission to the UN will raise the issue of the attack against General Kirillov at the Security Council meeting requested for December the 20th.
Thank you, Yulia.
Right there. Y'all seen that? So that's that was the general coming out of his house, his apartments right there. That must be that
right there behind the pole.
Yeah, go ahead, play it
Right,
again.
so according to Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova, the Russian permanent mission to the UN will raise the issue of the attack against General Kirillov at the Security Council meeting requested for December the 20th.
Thank you.
Hey, that go to show you when you dealing with Esau, you ain't safe nowhere.
No,
right.
Soon as he came out the apartment, he got blew up. He ain't never even seen it coming. He never seen it coming. And then so really they got a 2 for 2 because they ain't had to pay $100,000 and they killed the general. They got a win for. They got a 2 for 2. They got a win for win. That's the games Esau play. Give me that Psalms 17 and 13, I think it is. Yeah, because we got to understand who we playing with. The Lord gave Esau the gift of war for a reason. Now, right now he using it against his own people, but he using it on us too. Remember the torches and all the things that Esau did to us? The Esau is the Lord's sword. Whenever you piss off the Lord, you got to see Esau.
Right.
Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
God said the wicked is his soul. Who is the wicked? The so-called white man. The earth is given into the hands of the sword, which is the so-called white man. And wherever the Lord want that sword to swing, he going to swing it. Esau going to swing that sword. He's swinging it over there in Syria, in Gaza, in Lebanon, and all over the place. All right?
Hey, also Thomas. Hey, IT, I just sent you some information on the average income for Uzbekistanians per year. That, you know what I'm saying, the average income that they get per year, right? Hey, well, I was trying to help. My bad, bro. Trying to make it quick. Because we was talking about how much this dude got paid, right? $100,000 US, right? Was 1.2 billion their money, right? So let's look at this right here. Can you read that?
Yes, sir. What is the average salary in Uzbekistan in 2023?
And that was as of 2023, but it also goes into April 29, 2024. Read.
In 2023, Uzbekistan saw an average salary increase of 17.2%.
Come on.
With the national average reaching Uzbekistan 4.55 MN, which equates to $368 by the end of the year.
So this is what they live off of per year. They live off that per year. So just imagine $100,000. $100,000. Man, they live in large over in Uzbekistan. So can you let's say, for example, okay, if the young man didn't know, he wasn't aware, but all he's thinking about, all he's seeing is dollar signs and everything that he can do for his family to take care of his family over there. I'm telling you.
So what you're saying is, like Satan, he came in with the
Woo!
offer. He
Yes.
caught him at his weakest point.
Right.
He said, okay, look, it's cold. They got war. Your family probably going to die. But you could save yourself if you just take the fall and take this $100,000.
Right.
Change your life.
Change your life.
That's what Satan do.
That's what Satan do.
All right, go ahead. Back to the video.
For the latest there from Moscow, let's cross over to Kyiv now and our defense editor, Alex Katopoulos. Alex, what are the Ukrainians saying about all this?
Well, the Ukrainian authorities had indicted General Kirillov on Monday for the alleged use of low-level battlefield chemical weapons. This is primarily chloropicrin, which is a form of military CS or riot control gas. It's designed to incapacitate but not to kill. Now, the Russians have allegedly used this chemical weapon multiple times in battlefield situations in order to be able to incapacitate Ukrainian defenders so the Russians can exploit that and take over those positions. Now, General...
Pause that. Let's go real quick. Let's go.
Kirillov.
So really, we showing y'all just a little bit of what's going on in the so-called Middle East, what's going on with Russia, Ukraine, Syria. You need to go back and research this stuff and find out what it means and how it's going to eventually come to affect us. Because ultimately, all these things is going to come back towards America, towards us, and it's going to start hurting our pockets.
Right.
What has leadership been telling us to do? We need to make sure we have food saved up. We need to make sure your finances are low.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not in buying, getting yourself into unnecessary debt. We need to learn how to grow our own food and become more self-sufficient.
Right.
We're going to have to learn how to work together as a community, because at the end of the day, we're going to start to become persecuted.
Right.
And they're going to start to kill us.
Right.
And then now I'm not going to be able to rely on the government. I'm going to have to rely on my brother.
Right.
I'm going to have to rely on my sister. So we got to put away all the malice and the bitterness and all the hatred that we have towards each other. And even if, we're not the best of friends, we still got to work together. We got to learn how to work together despite our disagreements. Unity is not always about working with somebody and agreeing with them. Sometimes you got to take the one for the team and do what's required, regardless if you would agree with it or not. If it's something that's going to benefit us all, then why not do it?
Right.
All right. So that's the show tonight for Precept Upon Precept. Oh, we got to do the QR code. Do the QR code real quick. The QR code.
All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Most High Christ bless y'all. We're seeking your assistance to enhance our national broadcast. So if you would please kindly spare a minute to provide feedback by answering 5 brief questions, we really appreciate it. Thank you for your support.
Give alms. To give at your local school, drop an envelope in the alms box. To give alms online via PayPal, IUICNewOrleans.IsraelUnite.org. To give to the Booster Club via PayPal, IUIC fundraising at IsraelUnite.org.
All right, Israel, shalom, shalom. Most High Christ bless. That's the QR code right there. Make sure y'all donate to the Booster Club. Donate to the Booster Club, all right? So that's the show for tonight, y'all. Precept upon Precept. I'm his host, Officer Thomas.
Officer Solomon.
Officer Zadiah.
Say shalom. Most High Christ bless.
Shalom.
There's a special place that I like to go when nobody's home, to increase my understanding, my daily bread that amazing. I'm talking about precepts, precept on precept, line upon line, line. Precept on precept, line upon line, line.